I'm Amanda Lawrence, and I'm a glass artist, specifically kiln formed and engraved glass. I'm just starting on a new piece. This is in fact going to be a postcard portrait for Nature and Art in Gloucester. It's a stylised version of the Slad Valley. Here's my design for it. And this is going to be built up in fused glass. So here's my base piece of glass. I've drawn out where the different sections of glass are going to go on the glass using a projection pen. And these individual pieces of glass are going to be cut from the separate pieces I've got over here. This is ordinary 3mm window glass. So what I'm going to do is to lay this piece of glass over my template. I'm actually going to work from the drawing, and then draw the section that I'm now going to cut using the projection pen. Now I'm working on a pad of newspaper, so I've got a little bit of softness underneath the glass. And the first thing I have to do is to score the glass using a glass cutter. That's got a tungsten wheel on the bottom, which is what I'm using to do the scoring. So using my lines as a guide, I'm going to press down on the glass, go from edge to edge, and now I have to break the glass along that cut. So this is a pair of cut running pliers, which I'm going to use to squeeze my score line, and here it go there. So again I'm going to score the glass, and this time I'm going to use a pair of what's called by stained glass artists grousing pliers, and again just pull the glass away along the score. And finally that tiny little cut at the end. And that will then sit on my base piece at the corner there, and you can see how as I build up the sections, the little bit in the middle, which is the river, will be lower than the rest of the glass, so it'll stand out. Right, this is the next stage, in which I'm going to enamel the piece I've just cut. It's going to be green when it's fired. This is glass enamel, which fires into the top surface of the glass, so it actually becomes a solid layer of colour. This is the glass enamel, which is powdered glass plus various oxides and colouring agents. So I'm going to mix it up with a little bit of distilled vinegar. Then I'm going to use the muller here. This is used a lot by stained glass artists, and that's basically to grind up any larger chunks inside the powder so that it all comes out nice and smooth. This dries quite quickly because of the vinegar, so I have to put it on fairly smartly. And that then gets left to dry, and it'll go into the kiln and be fired at about 580 degrees. Right, this piece that I'm working on now is for a different piece, but it's using very similar techniques. This is actually a test piece for the section of a wall decoration I'm making, which is based on the idea of a kestrel, and this is the kestrel's tail. And each section of the tail is engraved with a line from a poem by Gerard Manley Hopkins called Windhover, which is about a kestrel. So I'm first of all drawing myself a guideline. There we go. Now I'm going to on the lettering, following my guides. Right, now the enamel is on this top surface of the glass, so when I cut through it using my engraving tool, the lettering is going to stand out nice and white. So now I'm going to move across to my engraving station. So having drawn up the lettering, I'm now going to engrave it. Now on the real thing I'd actually spend a lot longer doing it, but on this test piece what I'm doing is making sure that the lettering is going to come out as I want it and is going to stand out sufficiently, and see how much I need to engrave. So that's what we've got. If I move away the white patch, you can see against the darker background how much it stands out. So this is the almost completed kestrel piece. These wings have been fused out of individual sections of glass and then slumped over a hump shape. They're ready to be siliconed onto this base piece. You can see the lettering here. With the lettering I've actually rubbed the engraved letters with a small amount of white acrylic, which helps them to stand out just that little bit more and gives it a lot of contrast against the blue enamel. Well, I joined the Guild just after having done a degree in glass at Wolverhampton University and a postgraduate diploma, and I have to say that being interviewed for the Guild was one of the most alarming experiences of my life. But on the other hand, being accepted for the Guild was a huge boost to my confidence. Having had this alarming interview where I had to show all my pieces, then to be accepted and to be told that I was up to the standard to join the Guild was just hugely encouraging.